Hello, and welcome to another episode of Wheel of Horror, the podcast where two best friends spin a wheel every week. It chooses the movie, and they discuss it. Today, we're talking about the 1983 film Videodrome, which was directed by David Cronenberg. I'm your co-host, Alec.
I'm Erik.
And Erik. Welcome to Videodrome. 50 Shades of Grey, eat your heart out.
For real. That's honestly, I'm going to tell you. All right, first off, for those listening, never seen this movie. Always wanted to. Big Blondie fan, Debbie Harry. I've seen Blondie. I'll get into that too. But I never had an excuse to really watch it. I knew it was a short movie. It's not even an hour and a half. I'm down to sit down and watch it. I never clicked to watch it. So this gave me the excuse to watch it, and I got to say, it was not what I was expecting at all.
Yeah.
It was bizarre as hell.
It is such a
Bizarre.
weird movie, dude. It's so out there.
I'm gonna be honest too. I don't get it.
Yeah, I can explain it the best I understand it, like questions you have or whatever. Overall, did you like it?
I like David Cronenberg. I think his special effects are still I'm amazed by them. This was 40 years ago almost, and it's pretty good special effects.
Yeah, I mean this is
really good. Sorry, not pretty good. Really good special effects.
This is right after Scanners, and that was a big
yeah,
one
it's another Cronenberg
with the heads exploding. This is 2 years after that. So yeah, he definitely started cementing his name as the gory but very realistic special effects. This is Rick Baker who did this one. And
yeah,
he's the guy that did the American Werewolf in London, so he's he's one of the best.
Very well versed.
Yeah. So, but did you like it though? I mean, or do you just like the director?
I liked it. I don't think I'd watch it again. I was
Okay.
oh, check that one off my list of movies everyone tells me to watch.
Right.
Isn't that funny when people tell you dude, you gotta check out? You do this to me. You do this to me more than anyone. Dude, have you seen Twin Peaks? You need to see Twin Peaks.
All right,
Okay, no, I will. I'll see it eventually. It's dude, you need to go home and watch it. Like I said, I'll watch it. I'll watch it eventually.
I am not. I would recommend Twin Peaks over this, but this movie, I don't know what it is, man. I just really like it. I think I saw it the first time when I was 17, I was in high school, and I had no idea what it was. It's such a weird movie. This is not something you just randomly stumble upon. Somebody has to show this to you. I think Will Harzer showed it to me. I'm pretty sure in high school, and I don't know what it is, man.
It would be Will. It would be Will.
Yeah, he showed us Last House on the Left. And but yeah, man, I bought this movie. I own it. I really enjoy it. It's so weird though.
Yeah. Yeah, and the themes of it. I'm trying to think what's the main theme? TV is kind of taking over our minds. It's just telling us screen time is bad. They show everyone doing that huge marathon of watching as much TV and screen as possible.
I think it's that, but I think it's also about the connection between sexuality and violence and why are people interested in that. I think it's kind of about that, but I do think it is about screens, overtaking and stimulation of the human mind and why do we need what we need sort of thing. And
yeah, and this was 40 years ago almost, and they have pretty much they put a VR headset on the main character.
Yeah, so
it's a gigantic trash can size thing, but
yeah, and that would be because that's the way that they are able to record his hallucinations, and then they're able to project them. Hey, sorry about that, everybody. Erik cut out for a second, and now we are back. Yeah, I guess to me, the themes of the movie, they really are about the overstimulation of society and overuses of screen and just watching, I don't know, graphic violence for the first time and sexuality. It was the first time that it was really exposed to the masses. Now you could find that in your phone 10 times over anytime you want, but this was people finding it for the first time in mass ways.
Yeah. And this was the 80s, so it was like porn and stuff in the movie you could find on your phone. Your Xbox, whatever you want to get it on.
Now,
then it was still VHS tape. This movie's you still get your stuff from VHS tapes. However, it's insane, what they would do in these tapes and whatnot, I guess.
Well, it's the first thing they find is that, the first Videodrome they actually see is that woman up against a clay wall getting electrocuted or whatever. And he thinks that's a broadcast coming from America, coming from Pittsburgh. And it was actually a recording the whole time. We find that out later in the movie. But that's the first time that they're we're experimenting with showing the world Videodrome, being able to control the world. And this is the first time with satellite dishes and stuff like that. They couldn't have made a movie like this 10 years prior,
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. It was trying to like break new ground with the themes and stuff. It reminds me of the movie The Network a little bit, which is like media controlling people's beliefs and like getting mad about their current situation.
Mm.
It reminded me of a few other movies. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but this just definitely hit a bunch of things. Hit it. It was really cool though. I liked it. I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, it is very strange. Like, I cannot imagine how they would pitch this and, like, anybody would be like, "I'm on board."
I don't know if it'd work today. In
No, no, not at
I
all.
mean, unless you're like talking VR headsets where you get like stuck in a VR headset or something.
Yeah, no, I think this is perfect for the time and place. I mean, the ending, he shoots himself, spoiler, but
Yeah.
so it's over. I mean, I'm sure they could figure out a way to make a sequel, but don't. This
But
is
he at the end of the movie takes Videodrome out with him.
Yeah, so what questions do you have? 'Cause I wanna know, like, what are you
I mean,
confused
let's
about?
start with like what is Videodrome?
I think that it's basically a transmission that creates a tumor in your head that then they can control. So it's almost like The Ring. Like, so if you watch
Hmm.
this, then they are able to control you. And the thing is, it's actually kind of smart. Like they go after this Max Renner guy who's the producer of like a smutty television network where he's exposing the world to things that people shouldn't want to be seeing, like violence and sex being combined. People shouldn't want to watch that stuff, but he's filling a hole, filling a niche. And now they use him to be like, well, he's a dirty guy watching this stuff anyways. He's showing it to the world. We might as well show him what the extreme version of this is.
Yeah, it's like he was targeted because he owns a network that
A
people
smutty
watch.
network, a
Yeah,
smut.
and so they can get to him, and then Videodrome can take over.
Yeah. And it's
But
a
there's two
seamless.
there's two parties fighting over Videodrome.
Yeah, so there's, like, the new Flesh, which seems to be, like, people that figured out what Videodrome was, Brian Oblivion and his
Yep.
daughter, so they're these people that were able to, like, unprogram the Videodrome tumor or whatever, so sh and that's what she does to Max at the end, but then it seems like the new Flesh is kind of also just using Max as a pawn to be like, "Well, this guy we can force him to do the things that we want him to do." So after he goes in and kills all of the other executives at Channel 83.
Which is a great scene. Please, no, don't kill me.
Dude, all right, I gotta say the acting's not great, but that's really tense. The way that that's shot, like that, it's so like real. Like he just walks in. There's not like all these special jump cuts and all this stuff and like anything. He just walks up, points a gun at him, and it's just like, wait, don't do this. And it's just, just it feels real to me. It feels like Scarface almost.
Yeah, it's very anxiety driven.
Just like no hope. It's just like
Yeah.
guy walking into a room has a gun pointed right at you. Nothing you say matters. Just just very quick, and then yeah. But it is a super confusing movie. I feel like I get a grasp on it every time I watch it a little bit more, but it's out there, and they really. Everyone with the 50 Shades of Grey is like, wow, that movie's really like, oh,
That movie isn't that movie like PG-13?
no, that's R. That's
Oh,
R.
it is R? Okay.
Yeah. But everyone's like, this is really graphic. And then you watch this, you're like, no,
No,
this is
that's
like,
child's play. Like
yeah, this is like serious, like snuff movies.
Debbie Harry burning cigarettes on her boobs and stuff. It's like, what?
Yeah, what do you think about her character in this? Because, she's obviously the lead singer of Blondie, but seeing her
I
in
thought
this.
she did a great job. I thought she was really enticing and like very like I paid attention and was kind of like, what is this character? She's very character driven. I don't know.
Yeah, she's got a lot going on. I mean, she's that like
She
by day, she's that like DJ at the radio, like trying to like self help people. And then at night, she's like, yeah, burning cigarettes on her boobs and like sticking needles through
They're
her
really into
ears.
pain and stuff.
Yeah, and the fact that, like, she's watching this video and it's like, "I wanna be a part of that." Like, that's so, like, ugh.
Yeah, she like takes Pittsburgh the next day. She's like, this is filmed in Pittsburgh, and then like she like is gone the next day. It's like, did she go to Pittsburgh? Does she even know where they're shooting this? Like, what the hell?
Yeah, he tells him. He tells her it's in Pittsburgh.
Oh.
But, yeah, it's very everything just feels weird. Doesn't everything just feel a little off? Like, everyone's relationships, the way they act, like, everything just seems a
It's very
little off.
bizarre. It's very bizarre. Almost feels dream sequency, which I
Yeah.
guess that's the point. It is messing with your mind.
Well, it's like, what's a hallucination? What's not?
Yeah,
Like, when does it? Because I guess it's supposed to start right when he sees that Clay video, and you notice his friend Harland or whatever is not watching it. Like, he's looking away the whole time, and he's always like, "There you go. Like, we got 53 seconds. Go ahead and watch it." Because he knows that if he watches it, then he'll be susceptible to the hallucinations and the brainwashing and all that.
yeah.
But they force him to. Yeah. It is kind of like The Ring, though, right? Where it's like if you
Very
watch
similar
it,
to The Ring. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like a lot of other things kind of stemmed from it.
Yeah, the company, I guess the bad guys in this, Ocular Spectacular or whatever, they're like, we build missiles for NATO, and we, help people in third world countries with their eyeglasses, and now we're getting ready to release Videodrome. So it's
Right.
like they have all this power and this influence throughout NATO and the rest of like third world countries. They're helping them, and they're also able to now broadcast their brain tumor message where they can take over control of everybody, and they're
Why
experimenting.
eyeglasses? Do you think there's a virtual reality headset thing gonna go happen with those eyeglasses?
I think there's something up with the
Yeah, because like,
eyeglasses,
why do you
yeah.
do NATO rockets and eyeglasses? Doesn't make sense.
I think it's to spread
Yeah.
influence, like, if they're like, "Hey, we're here to help you, like, learn how to read and be able to see things in all these places where they don't have anything," and then this company comes in, they're like, "We'll help you," so they become, like, the good guys, and then they'll be like, "Hey, we're gonna build, like, TV stations in Africa and, like, South America and stuff, like, is this cool for you guys?" They're like, "Oh, these are the guys that give us glasses to do this," and then they're able to broadcast their brainwashing message
I
all over the
mean, yeah,
world.
or you go to buy glasses, what do? You put them on and you look at something, and they tell you, "Oh, look at this, tell me what
Mhm.
you see." So they could give you the glasses and tell you, "Hey, watch this movie."
Oh.
And yeah,
Yeah.
and then you watch it for 10 seconds, 40 seconds, and then you're in the drome.
It's like a way to ensure that everybody will be able to
Watches
see
it and
it,
pays
basically.
attention to it.
Yeah, because even if you can't see TV, you can still with these glasses. Yeah, it's weird. I just in everything, dude, like, everything's in front of a screen. Like, the opening scene too, like, he's woken up, his alarm clock is his receptionist filming herself every day, giving him videotape to then put in to wake him up to.
It's crazy.
His whole life revolves around videotapes and
That kind of
just
reminds me of Vanilla Sky, how every morning he woke up to a different alarm clock, but it was like a voice message.
oh,
Like,
yeah,
wake
yeah,
up,
I kinda remember that.
David, wake up. It's like, oh, that was kind of
Yeah.
weird.
I wanna know though, because in this one, she says, she's like, "It's Friday the 23rd or Wednesday the 23rd. Remember that, the 23rd." Like, she says that. I'm like, "What the" and I've wondered that so many times, like, what are they talking about?
Why does that
It's
matter?
gotta be
Why does the
important.
23rd?
I don't know. I don't know. I
Remember your
wanna know, though.
meeting today. Don't forget your meeting. Okay.
And not a lot of people talk about this movie, like, you can't really find a lot of videos online about, like, the breakdown of this movie, and it did not do well when it first
It's
came
a
out.
cult classic.
It
It's a cult classic.
Now, for sure, but I'm not even kidding, man. I've probably seen this movie like 20 times in my
Really?
life, and yeah, it's just there's something about it, dude, it's kind of like a weird Blade Runner to me almost, like, I like seeing this weird loner guy kind of out of his element, interacting with things that are greater than him, it just kinda has and it's like a noir sort of.
Yeah. Okay.
Everything feels gritty, like, if you look it's filmed in Toronto, and especially that final scene where he's walking to that condemned
Yeah, you,
boat,
you see the
like
Toronto shipyard on the boat or something.
yeah, but you notice, like, it reminds me of Hellraiser too, like, there's just this, like, industrial alone feeling to it. You know, in the scene, like, when he goes to kill himself
Yeah.
and he's walking, like that's like a post-apocalyptic scene, like, it's really overcast and it's just a big warehouse and he's by himself and everything's tipped over and he's walking over
Yeah.
trash, like yeah, I don't know, it has this feeling to me.
Also,
The
someone
guy's
else
like,
was there, so maybe someone else did the same thing for Videodrome.
"Well, the TV was in there,
TV was in there, the
so."
bed was there, there was someone who was there. It looked kind of recent, so maybe this isn't the first time Videodrome's made someone kill themselves.
Oh, I'm sure not, yeah. I wanna know more about, like, Brian Oblivion too, like, that's a cool idea, like, he knew when he got the brain tumor that he was gonna die because he must have worked with these people, these, like, ocular spectacular people because he's like, "My coworkers, they figured out that I knew what was possible with Videodrome, and then they killed me." So, he knew that he was gonna die when he got the brain tumor, so he just started recording tens of thousands of videos of him, so he was always prepared with an answer for, like, anything, and I think that's kinda
It's
cool,
crazy. Reminds me of
like
the
yeah.
Transcend movie with Johnny Depp, like how he transcends into the computer after he dies.
Yeah, yeah, basically, but it's like because nowadays people would be like, if like Joe Rogan died, they could just take his voice and they would be able to manipulate him to say anything because he said everything. But this was like this guy actively responding to things that he doesn't know anyone's gonna say, and then videotaping himself and then having this videotapes, this fucking room full of
Yeah.
videotapes.
Well, yeah, it's cool. It's
Yeah,
very analog too, because if you think about that being all tapes for the 80s, that makes sense. Today, it'd all be digital,
hard
all
drives.
digital. So it's like
Yeah,
maybe it'd
no.
be it'd be even more powerful today.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, the idea of this, if the internet existed, he would have just used the internet. He's like, oh, we just broadcast this everywhere. But I think it's interesting to me because Max is a guy that's, like, in the open about
Hmm.
it. Like, his message is basically like, "Hey, it's better for people to watch it here than to go out and do it. So if I show them this, they're less likely to act on their impulses as long as they can see it, because people wanna see it."
Yeah.
And there's that one scene where that, the lead bad guy, he just says to him, he's like, "So why did you watch it, Max?" He's like, "Research." He's like, "Okay, yeah,
So you
that's why
got to
you
be a
watched
sick
it."
person to just watch this. I'd look away. It's like, oh, dude, get this
Right.
out of my face.
He's like, "What kind of person watches Videodrome, Max?" Like,
Yeah.
that's he's, like, trying to make him feel bad, and he's just like, yeah." He's just like and then he lies. He's like, "I watched it for research and for, to sell it." And he's just like, "No, you didn't, Max. You're a pervert. You're a disgusting piece of shit, and that's why we chose you. And that's why Harlan's been here for 2 years, learning your ins and outs, and now we're gonna program you to go kill your coworkers so we can take over the station and broadcast this message to
Yeah.
everybody." That's basically the movie,
Yeah, with a
but it's
lot of
confusing as
trippy
fuck.
visuals, and it's very confusing. The end
It's
the
so
end scene. So pretty much, Videodrome tells him to kill himself and like shows it on the
It's
TV.
no, it's not
No, it's the
Videodrome,
other thing, the new Flesh or
it's
whatever.
the new
Yeah,
Flesh. Yeah. So Videodrome was in Max, and then he goes to kill Bianca, and then Bianca shows him the actual
like actually
Videodrome
puts the tape inside of him.
of Nikki getting
Yeah,
killed, and then the TV shoots him, which deprograms him of Videodrome and then makes him reprogrammed by the new Flesh. So, again, I don't know if that video of Nikki getting killed in Videodrome was actually Videodrome or just a new Flesh video that she made to convince Max that Videodrome is evil.
that's crazy.
Yeah, so then he gets deprogrammed by the new Flesh, and I'm assuming that since he went and killed the leader of that Octular spec, I cannot say that word, but the head bad guy at
Spectacles
the
or
end, he shoots
whatever.
him.
Yeah,
He kills him, and then I bet Bianca was reprogramming him again to just be like, "Go kill yourself. I gotta cut any loose
yeah,
ends." He can be reprogrammed by Videodrome to come kill me and again if I don't, so let's just kill him.
yeah. And it was just weird to
That's
see someone like shoot themselves in the head and then again right after do the same scene again. It was just like, what? That's so weird. But it also shows like what TV influences us to do.
Well, they say that line where it's like, "The television is the retina to the mind's eye," and I think that's like a play on, like, the eyes are the windows to the
Yep.
soul, but it's like the screen version of that, the non-organic, non-natural version of the eyes are the windows to the
Yeah.
soul.
I mean, how long have TV's been around at this point? Like 30,
40
40
years?
years? So I
Yeah.
feel like they're just starting to really become in homes more than ever, more
Well,
channels. Kids are watching it,
cable.
kids are being influenced. They drink this thing, like MTV, all this stuff. So it's like
Mhm.
people were probably like a little intimidated by how much, not television, but just in general, just yes,
Overstimulation.
overstimulation. That's what I'm saying. Like,
And that's what she says. Nikki Brand says that when they're on the talk show. She's like, "We crave stimulation for stimulation's
yeah,
sake." And you're right. I think this is the beginning of that 80s, like, greed is good, just you can never get enough, keep going, snort that line, fucking sell, 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 buy that cell phone. Like, this was the beginning of that yuppie,
yep.
keeping up with the Joneses 80s thing that's still going on today. But this was the beginning of cable and satellite TV and yeah, like sex sells, all this stuff. So yeah, this is man, it's a perfect time for this movie to come out.
It's very thought
And
provoking. Like I'm still like, I just finished watching it like right before we started talking, so I don't have a
yeah.
lot of time to digest it. I like to think about it more, but I'm just giving it to you live, like my thoughts. So
Oh yeah. No, dude, believe me, I seriously, I'm not even kidding. I mean, I probably watched the movie, yeah, 20 times almost. I'm still
okay,
confused and I'm still like trying to make it. I'm like, well, okay, I guess that kind of makes sense, but it's a confusing movie. It's super
yeah.
weird. I don't think there's really a right answer to it, you know.
Bringing up another topic, Debbie Harry from the lead singer of Blondie. Is this her only thing in movies? And I don't know her from anything else.
I don't know. I'm sure she was in something else after this because she was good in
I
this.
thought so. I was
So
like, damn, this is her first movie, and she's really, really good.
maybe. I don't know.
I saw
I'm
I
gonna find
saw
out.
Blondie, I think in 2010 or 2011 at the Twin River Casino in Rhode Island. Me and some
Mm.
college buddies. George was with me for Blondie, and we had a blast. I loved going to that venue. The tickets were always so cheap, and you can just get right up to the stage. I was a foot away from Debbie Harry, and it was really cool. That crowd was all over the spectrum of people, and I felt like I was sticking out like a sore thumb. I was like, I am a young it just was so it was a weird experience, but I loved going to that casino because I think like Cool and the Gang was there too. Like a week later or something, I went there and that concert was just as fun. but Blondie's amazing.
Yeah. No, Blondie is seriously like one of my favorite bands, especially that album that came out in 1980 with Call Me and like the whole American
Yeah.
Gigolo
I
album.
I gotta I gotta
That's
say, hearing Rapture live was
oh yeah.
really like the bass ripping through like doom 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 doom, and it was just like, oh, like you felt like the bass like going through your body. It was so cool.
I love female lead singers of a rock band where it's like mostly men for some reason. Like I love Fleetwood Mac and I love
Yep.
Blondie and I love Heart and Joan Jett. Like there's so many Joan Jett and Pat
Yeah.
Benatar. Like I really like that. I don't know what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, and
Rocker
Debbie
women. I
Harry
love
would
it.
always talk about like all her songs like before she'd play it. Like she'd give like a quick backstory, and she talked about "The Tide Is High," and she's like,
Mm,
you know, who like pulled me aside and was like, "This is one of the best songs I've ever heard." John Lennon was like in love with "The Tide Is High," and
really?
if you listen to that song, it sounds kind of like a John Lennon song.
Wait, was he
I
alive when that
think
song
so. I
came
think
out?
that's what the story she told, unless I was messed up. But
Because I mean, he died in 1980. I
I'm
mean,
gonna have to kind of fact check that, but I remember her saying John Lennon loved "The Tide Is High."
I believe it. I don't want to call you out. I
No,
don't
no,
know.
no.
I don't know.
John Lennon. All
Um,
right, keep going.
but just to answer a question for you, yes, this is not her first or only movie. She's done actually quite a bit. She's probably got a good 50 television appearances and screen and movie appearances.
Okay, so I just googled it. John Lennon died in 1980.
Hmm.
"The Tide Is High" was released in 1980, so it might be one of the last
Oh,
conversations they had.
yeah. No, hey, 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 hey. I
So
don't want to call it out on here.
that's kind of
That is cool.
yeah.
She, Deborah Harry though, she was in Vice City too. She was one of the voices in that. But yeah, she's done actually quite a bit. Nothing that I've actually seen, I don't think. She was in Hairspray, the original Hairspray. But I like her in this, and she's fucking weird in this, man. She is kinky,
Yeah.
but very just like sexy with her red hair and her like her lips on that TV screen,
She
just like
switches
that
her
come
hair
to
too. It
diffuse.
goes from like red to brown. She never is blonde though, right? That's
No,
kind of
she never
funny. It's like
blonde.
a play on her not being Blondie.
Yeah. Yeah, but that TV scene though, the way the lips are on it and it like completely comes out or whatever, and then James Woods' face just goes right into it. Just cool special effects. I want to know how they did that. And yeah, just the whole TV scene overall. Like he's got those game controllers on top, and then it gets like veiny or whatever, and then he's whipping the TV when she's in it, and then he kills that old lady.
Yeah, yeah, dude. But did he, or was that just like a hallucination?
I I I don't know
I
because
don't
if
know,
you think
dude.
about it,
This movie is so bizarre.
yeah, because the way that whole thing adds up, it's like, all right, the last thing that he was in that eyeglass store, and then they go to record his hallucinations, and then he just wakes up and he's in bed with that Masha woman, and she's dead. But then she's not there, because then Harlan comes. Okay, so it was a hallucination. Yeah. Oh man, yeah, this movie's got a lot going
Oh,
on.
dude, Google this too. All right, so I know for a fact you said this, and look up
I
Len. Dude,
believe you.
I had to like you called me out, bro. You called me out. You said I don't know, Eric. Doesn't make sense. Type in
It's not what he said.
Lennon. The Tide Is High. It just like it's Lennon's son Sean pretty much talking about how much John Lennon loved that song.
I
Right?
believe
Yeah.
you.
It
It just the timeline. I was like in my head. I was like,
Eric,
oh okay.
Eric, are you
Oh,
fibbing?
I'm like stupid Eric. Making things up, eating soap, or
Yeah, that's what did it. The soap. Oh,
no,
dude.
no, I believe you. I totally believe you. But what do you think about James Woods' character in
Really
this?
good. Really, it's such a hard role to act in. It's like, what the hell am I saying? Say this line, but like do it in a way. Like, how do you direct? I'd be so confused acting in this movie. Like, what do you want me to do? Like,
Yeah, and it's like he has to do so many like just sexual things too, like sticking needles through people's ears and stuff,
yeah,
and
and I feel like a lot of it's like not. It's like act like you're really scared, but not over the top. Because like he has like those moments where like his stomach is opening up, and he's like, it's like act like you're scared, but too scared to do anything. Like it's never
yeah,
like him like, oh my god, what the fuck's going on? Oh my god, oh my god. Like I'd be like that. I'd be like, what the hell? But
yeah.
he's calm still. He's very slow moving when he goes inside of himself to hide the gun, and it's like I'm concerned, but I'm not freaking out when I should be
Mm.
freaking out.
It's probably because he's in like a hallucinogenic state, like pretty much the rest of the movie once he first sees Videodrome, so he's probably not all there. But the one thing I did notice for the first time this time is when his girl Friday, or I mean, yeah, that's what she's called, but his receptionist comes in and she's like, "Hey, like, are you okay? Here's the video from Professor Oblivion," and he slaps her. Remember
But he
that
doesn't.
scene?
It's a hallucination.
Yeah, but remember that scene, and then he's like, I think I have, like, a rash or something." He just touches his, like, stomach really quick. Then, like, 30 minutes later, that's when he's got the gun, and he's scratching himself, and he's shirtless and everything like that, so I think at that point, he was already gone, dude.
Well, yeah, that was the first hallucination. Was when he thought he hit her, and she's like, "You didn't hit me." He's like,
Yeah.
"Ah, I must be not doing well."
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, he is almost, like, too cool the whole time, like, he doesn't I feel
Yeah.
like the only time he really loses his shit is when he goes back to Bianca Oblivion, and she's like, she makes him watch it, and he's just like, "And you let me watch it?" And she's like, "I thought you were one of them." He's like,
Yeah,
"I
it's like
didn't
that
know."
scene where he's like, John Lennon really loves the tide is high, but it was a hallucination. He wasn't sure.
Oh my
Sorry, I'm
god,
never gonna let
Eric.
that go. I'm never gonna let that go.
Jesus Christ! Oh my god.
It was a
Okay.
hallucination, Alec.
Oh my god.
I was there. She
Okay.
said that.
I 100% believe you. I'm sorry. I believe you, okay?
Fine,
I
Alec.
believe you.
Fine. Fine.
Okay, okay. Guess who did the score?
Howard Shore. I saw that at the beginning, right?
Yeah, he did, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
I loved he did it. I mean, I don't think the music's too memorable in this one, but it's
No, no.
definitely works. Like there's no
Yeah.
theme. Like I couldn't tell you what's the theme of Videodrome. Lord of the Rings
No,
though, it's
it's
like ba-bam, bam, ba-ba-bam,
yeah.
ba-ba-bam, 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 bam, bam, bam.
No, yeah.
Sorry, I'll stop.
100%. Very forgettable. Not at all, but still cool to see like, oh, he's getting his start sort of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Oh, another little tidbit of trivia you might find
I didn't
very
look up any of
interesting.
the trivia, so hit me.
Guess what movie David Cronenberg turned down to do this movie?
Turned down to do this movie.
1983.
E.T.
Nope, it came out in 1983. Big movie.
Poltergeist.
83.
I what year? I mean, 83, 83,
That's 82.
83, 83. I don't know. I don't know.
Return of the
No
Jedi.
shit.
Yep, they offered him Return
The
of the Jedi,
direct?
and he said, "Yep,"
What?
and he said, "Yep," and he said, "I'm not interested in directing other people's writing right now," because he had just done Scanners and was really successful, so everyone's like, "What do you wanna do? What do you
Want
wanna
to
do?"
write and direct?
And he's just like, "I wanna write my own movie and direct my own movie," and then they're like, "You don't wanna do Return of the Jedi?" He's like, "Nah."
I'm
And they're just
glad
like,
he
"Alright."
didn't.
No, me too. Me too. That
The
would've been so
Sarlacc pit.
weird.
Just imagine this David Cronenberg Sarlacc pit. Kids
Yeah,
would be like, I can't sleep at night. Could you
for sure.
imagine the Sarlacc pit with him?
If it was like this, yeah, no, it would be terrifying. You know, the one thing I don't understand either about this movie that maybe you would is what the fuck is that thing at the end when he shoots the guy and he just turns into like this, and it's like his face is melting and he's freaking out, you know, and his like skull explodes at the end, the big bad guy.
Like, what are the special effects? Or
No, like why the hell does that happen?
I think he's like videodromed. Then like the
So that's
videodrome's
what
dying in him.
so it like splits open your skull and turns into like oatmeal in your body.
I guess. Oh, well, look at the other guy when he put his hand in his stomach and then it got messed up. Was he like? It looked like he was holding a stick of dynamite,
Yeah.
but that doesn't make
Yeah.
sense. It was the video drum like dying.
I think for that guy, Harlan or whatever, I think Videodrome is out of James or out of Max, and Harlan thinks that he still is possessed by Videodrome, and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna put your next assignment into you." But when he does that, new flesh takes over and then makes his hand into a pipe bomb, and then it blows his whole body
Yeah. What do you think is
up.
like a good time to watch this movie? Like, if you were to like,
Like,
hey, when's a good time to watch Videodrome? When you know,
uh, I'd say on like a rainy day. I don't know. This is not like a sunny, like, oh, it's really nice out. Like,
like, on a plane,
but
but it has to be in one of those backseat
uh,
plane seats TVs.
don't watch this.
Like you can't
Don't
watch
watch
it
this.
on like a lap. You have to watch it in a shitty plane seat.
I wouldn't suggest watching this like in front of anybody that doesn't know you very well. They're like, "Why are you watching this?" I don't
That's how I
I don't
felt. That's
know.
how I felt with Shannon. Shannon was walking by like, "What the hell are you watching?" I was like, "Shh, it's
Yeah,
for the podcast."
I know. This is not a movie that I'm like, This you need to see this movie because this is fucking
It's
weird." And if you're
trippy
into
visuals,
weird movies,
trippy special effects. The plot is it makes sense, but at the same time, I'm like, I have so many questions.
it's a weird one. It strikes a chord in me for some reason, but I don't know. It's not for everybody. I totally get that. If someone's like, "I fucking hate that movie," I'd be like, "I get it. I get it," but
Well,
I
one other
don't
thing I
get
wanted to bring up, and you ever see those? There's like people that do like Dreadful Things, and what's the other one? Like Wicked Joyful, and there's like a few others, but Dreadful Things, I'm thinking of them the most because whoever runs that does those little action figures that like he makes at home and like paints them himself, and like makes like cool like action figure. He does a bunch for Videodrome.
Really?
bunch for Videodrome.
I don't really know what you're talking about. Not like those Funko Pop
Remember,
things. Not
I sent you like this thing, like it's on Instagram, Redful Things,
Hmm.
and he makes these action figures, like characters you would like the Thing, like he makes like the Spider Head action figures, like
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's like, why is there an action figure of that?
So, like, really cool special effects things, like, he'll make a toy of that?
Kind of, yeah. But he does like a lot of Videodrome stuff, and like one of the things is the TV where like it points the gun, and he made like an
Mm,
action figure of that, and it's fascinating, and I love like, and dude, he sells them on eBay for like $500. These little action figures, it's
damn.
insane.
Yeah, send me the link again. I
Yeah,
wanna
yeah,
check that
and
out. That
anyone
sounds sick.
just if you like art and stuff, this is like really cool action figure stuff. I love it. I love it.
Oh, does he make the intro little penis dildo thing from the beginning?
I think he does. I'm not even kidding, dude. He also takes some videotapes and like
Oh,
VHSs and makes art out of VHSs
that's
and
cool.
like stuff. It's really I think it's fantastic art, and
Yeah.
yeah, check it out
Yeah, send it to me. I wanna check it out. Why don't we spin the
for
wheel?
sure.
Last 2
It's
movies.
crazy. 2020 can go away.
Yeah,
What are we doing for 2021? We'll see. The wheel will decide. Very soon.
I know.
Very
I'm sure
soon.
it's thinking right now, I bet.
Thinking what it's gonna do to us. It's like, you guys need to do 500 horror movies.
Oh my god.
Alright, pulling her up. Sorry about that. Alright, spinning. Spinning. Get Out.
You get out. You
Get
get
Out. Narrated by Arnold
out.
Schwarzenegger. Get
Oh
out.
my god.
You seen it, Alec?
I have
I
seen
have
it.
not. I've
Okay,
been
alright.
looking for an excuse to sit down and watch this. Now I have it. Can't wait.
Boom.
Can't wait.
Boom. Boom. All right. Well, let's see everybody next week then.